Hi, welcome to day 50 of Science Challenge. It's going to be a little bit of a break after this one. We'll see how we go when I'm back with day 51. But today we're going to do a really fun little experiment which has got potential to be a bit messy. So make sure you ask an adult before you start. But we're going to make something called a non-Newtonian fluid. Okay, so Isaac Newton, you've probably all heard of him. He came up with this theory that fluids have a certain viscosity. That means sort of how thick they are. And that is constant, and it doesn't depend on how much stress or impact they're put under. Now, there are certain fluids that don't follow the laws of Isaac Newton, and we call those non-Newtonian fluids. Okay, so today we're going to have a go at making one. It's really fun. You might have seen it done before. All you're going to need is some corn flour and some water and a plastic bowl. Okay, I've already made mine just because it's a little bit time consuming to make it, but I used 1 cup of corn flour and then I used 5 tablespoons of water. Okay, you might want to just tinker a little bit with those measurements. Once you've made it, if you feel it's a bit runny, you could add a little bit more corn flour. If you feel it's a bit too stiff or a bit too dry, then you could add a little bit of water. But what you're looking for is a substance which behaves at times like a solid, but also at times like a liquid. So this is a non-Newtonian fluid because when it's put under stress, its viscosity increases and it behaves much more like a solid. When it's not under stress, it behaves like a liquid, so it will flow. So you can see it will flow down the bowl, but then I can pick it up like a solid. Okay, so there's a few quite fun things that you can do with a non-Newtonian fluid. Sometimes this is called oobleck as well. I don't know why people call it that, but it's a name that is sometimes given to, so you might see that online as well. Okay, but one thing that I can do with it is I can roll it up and make it into a ball, which then will become a liquid again. Okay, so I can do that again. Make it into a ball, but then the ball becomes a liquid. It's a really, really cool substance. One of the things and you can see it comes off your hands quite nicely as well, and it's only corn flour and water, so you can just give your hands a wash afterwards. This time I'm going to just I'll pick up a ball of it and put it on my little, and then hopefully we should see it starting to fall through. So it flows when it's not under any stress. If I put it under stress, it behaves like a solid. Its viscosity increases. Okay. Okay, if I turn that over, I can then peel these kind of strands off. It's just really quite a fun and satisfying thing to play with. Okay, so another thing that you can try, which I'm going to do now, is you can try hitting it with a hammer. Okay, so I'm just going to take a handful of it. So as you can see, while I'm moving it, solid, if I press it really hard, I can actually kind of break it in half like a solid. But I'm just going to put it on this wooden board. As you can see, it sort of becomes a liquid when I let it go. But then I can peel it and make it back into a solid again. So I'm just going to take a hammer. First of all, one quite cool thing is you can splat it, but of course it doesn't splat because the moment you splat it, it becomes a solid again. So you can do that with a hammer. You can see that it sort of forms a solid and would break, but then goes back to being a liquid again. It's a really kind of unusual little scientific anomaly. It's really quite fun to have a bit of a play with. So yeah, have a go. Make some of your own non-Newtonian fluid. Have a bit of a play with it and clean it up when you finished. But enjoy.